is a guy who's able to buy those guns after being on law enforcement's radar over threats, over confiscated weapons, lots of knives. How is that even possible?
Well, to buy a gun or ammunition in Illinois, you first need to get what's called a firearms ID card from the state police, and it can be denied for a variety of reasons, including if the applicant, quote, poses a clear and present danger to the community. The state police said they were notified in September 2019 when the local police went to the house in response to the threat. They removed the knives and all that, but they say no arrests were made and no one in the family was willing to make a complaint that would have started any kind of legal process. So the state police say that ended the matter for them at the time. They say Cremo applied for a firearms card 3 months later, and because he was only 19, he needed a parent's approval. The state police say his father sponsored the application that there was no reason to think that Cremo was a danger at that time. So that's how he got the ID card that he needed to start buying guns, and he passed background checks when he did buy guns in 2020 and 2021.
A couple more questions, Pete. You did talk about how the father signed off on the gun. Is there any way that the father could face any charges?
Charges, criminal charges, that's a matter of Illinois state law, and I'm not an expert on that, but I suppose he could face civil lawsuits.
All right, let's talk about all those violent videos that were online. A lot of people have seen them since. Were police officers aware of those videos?
Well, the Lake County Sheriff's Office says no, that the police didn't know about those videos, the ones in which Cremo appears to show an obsession with violence and mass shootings. And even though he posted those videos online and hundreds, if not thousands of people saw them, the police say nobody ever reported it to them, and there's no mechanism for the police or the FBI to check somebody's social media in the background checks that are conducted when somebody goes to a gun store to buy a firearm. Investigators say he bought 2 rifles and some pistols over the past 2 years, all of them legally, including the rifle that they say was used in Monday's shooting.
Let's change that, shall we? Here's the thing, okay? If you've ever served in the military, you know this, and if you haven't, listen up. So in order to get a security clearance in the military actually goes and talks to your neighbors. They talk to family members. They talk to others in your orbit to determine whether or not you are a reliable, upstanding, decent person who should have a security clearance. This is for the lowest security clearances all the way up to the very tippy top security clearances, and this is just to have information. This is not to have weaponry. This is not to have, the ability to take out your class, okay, or your school or any of that. And the Uvalde shooter, same damn thing. You know, the Uvalde shooter, he was posting, all kinds of videos, Instagram videos and TikTok profiles. His TikTok profile, the Uvalde shooter, it actually said, quote, "Kids be scared." And it had an image of 2 AR-15 semi-automatic rifles displayed on a rug, and it was pinned to his Instagram profile. So why don't we just say this? How's this? Tell me how you feel about this. In order to get a gun, you have to actually go to your police department. And then the police department, you sign a waiver, and they're allowed to talk to your neighbors, to talk to your family members, and to look at your social media, to see if you're somebody who threatens other people with violence, to see if you're somebody who trolls, to see if you're somebody that has an obsession with mass shootings or weaponry, to see whether or not you've posted on any social media, "Kids be scared," with photographs of ARs or photographs of pistols, or do you post pictures of guns that you started purchasing? Is there an endless, grid on your site of handguns and ammunition? Do you hashtag things with popular hashtags for, gun nuts? How about that? How about we start doing that? You know, the right wing has absolutely no interest in solving the gun problem. They have no interest in noting that there were 14 mass shootings in a weekend in this here country. They didn't even cover the fact that there were fireworks. There was a fireworks display in Philly, and 2 police officers ended up being shot. Now, they weren't killed, but they were shot, and the mayor of Philly actually put out a video, talking to everybody going, hey, this is the world you've made and this is the world in which we all have to live. I feel really bad. No parents should have to raise their kids like this, but it's what you made. This is who we are. This is what America looks like. We now look like, El Salvador. We look like Somalia. We look like any banana republic, south of the border that you're afraid of. You've turned us into that, you understand. And the right wing over there on the Fox, oh my God, the things they decided to blame. Now you can listen and you'll tell me, do you agree with Lala? Do you agree with Lala? Lala has honed in on the reason for the mass shooting.
Now, on the mass shooting in Illinois, indications are that Robert Crimo was a regular pot user.
Pot.
Now, one look at him, and to the untrained eye, he looks like a complete psychotic. Have you ever seen anyone looking like him? And what can regular pot use trigger in young men in particular? Psychosis and other violent personality changes. Not everyone, but a significant percentage. These are the eyes of some of the mass killers who've reportedly been regular pot users. Look at them. Those in politics and in the media who devote their time and energy to fear-mongering on fake issues while covering up the truth about the growing scourge of violent psychosis in our young people, they have to be called out, they have to be defeated, and then the public has to be educated.
Okay, she says it's the pot. It's the pot, everybody. Does everybody agree? Is it the pot?